Dawson Rider Review. Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of the Power Rangers Dino Charge 4-inch figures. So, I believe it's been since last year with Super Mega Force when we returned to the roughly 5-inch scale that they started giving us this little 4-inch line, which is roughly in the scale of the 4-inch figures we used to get, but they're not really articulated that well. They're like a really weird, like midway point between an articulated figure and a fixed pose figure. It was like it was in the middle of a slight evolution from Digimon Frontier and just stopped. But so anyway, like I said, we did get some last year. We got all the guys from Super Mega Force and then at least one Mighty Morphin, I think. I think there was only one. But yeah, so we got those, and now we have started Dino Charge with the Red Ranger, the Black Ranger, and the Green Ranger. I'm betting there's going to be more later. There's not really too many I'm looking forward to outside of potential ones for like the Spirit Rangers and stuff, just because I'm excited for almost any merchandise that pertains to the extra Rangers from Dino Charge. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. This is pretty much the same as the other figures if you watched my reviews of them, or if you happen to see you know, them around. They're not terribly painted overall. I mean, the helmets are pretty, like, okay. I mean, they are missing very small little details, like with the eyes and stuff, but they got the visors. They got the, like, the surrounding yellow around the visor for the teeth. The chest is painted. The little, dinosaur, like, drawing here, I was, like, losing way of speaking. Like, this dinosaur, T-Rex, be here. I'm like Coda in the... Actually, that's very accurate. I'm like Coda in these reviews. But anyway, overall, except for the dinosaur, you know, lacking a little bit of the extra details, this is still pretty solidly painted. The gloves are the wrong color. I don't know what's up with this one and like the large-scale Nutcracker figures having the wrong type of gloves. I mean, it can be kind of cool maybe for one figure, like, hey, what if their gloves were silver? But for all of these... and then they each come with one weapon. He comes with his... weapon for his armored on part, but he doesn't have the armored on, and it just goes on there. You can see, you can hold it, you can take it off if you want. Articulation wise, his arm can move around like this. It is possible to go 360, but you can't because his crotch stops him, and then his shoulder pad, well, actually he can, but like he can only, you know, smack his own ass and touch his crotch. This review's already gotten dirty. You can do the same here with his arm here. There's no elbow joints. His legs can move back and forth. That's pretty much it for the legs, and then you can move his head around a little bit. There's not really any up and down movement. So like I said, it's a really weird mix between articulated and a fixed pose. It's just really strange. And for whatever reason, these ones have a really hard time standing, which is annoying. It's like, come on, of everything, can I at least get these figures to stand? Like, that's all I ask, and you can't even pull that off. So it's pretty annoying. Like, I spent like 5 minutes trying to get these dudes to stand. Here's the Black Rangers, same deal. Not terrible details outside of the little small ones there. He comes with the Dino Morpher, which is just, or the Dino Charge Morpher, which is just, you know, the solid yellow plastic, kind of like the regular ones, but brown color gloves again. Articulation's the same. He can move his legs back and forth. He can move his arms around in his head, but it's in a fixed pose. The back of the box has him in this pose, which he's getting ready to start a drag race. That's pretty much that pose. Alright, come on. There we go. Alright. Now here's Green Ranger. And like I said, the same level of detail. It's not terrible. His pose, I feel, is the most awkward, because when you take the sword out of his hand, it comes with the Dino Saber. Focus, there we go. Which is also just solid yellow. He looks like he's trying to imitate that guy from Scary Movie 2 with the little limp hand. He's like, let me just get it in the taters. I don't know. I don't remember if he said that exactly, but he was like mashing his little hand into the mashed potatoes and like licking the turkey. I'm not saying Riley's going to do that, but that's what he wants to do with his little hand here. It looks really, maybe he's trying to emulate a raptor. I don't know his life. We barely know him yet. We just know he lived on a farm and he has a dog. But yeah, that's really weird. The same level of articulation is present here as well. He's probably the weakest of the three, I feel, just because he's in such a weird pose and his head is like turned more down, so he kind of looks like the weirdest when you're putting him in a very non-specific pose, for sure. But overall, these figures aren't that terrible, but I really don't recommend them. Last year it was kind of hit and miss for these. I mean, they weren't like any sort of feature for me. The first wave I thought was fairly generic. The second wave I didn't think was too bad. Like, I think the Silver Ranger and like Robo Knight and I think the Mighty Morphin one were pretty decent. But these overall are a very easy skip. I think I said this in one of my 4-inch reviews at one point, but I think it would be neat if instead of trying to make these articulated, they just made them almost like statuesque like figures, like roughly this scale, but in a really cool fixed pose with a little bit more detail. That would be pretty neat. They used to have figures sort of like that during Mighty Morphin. They were a bit smaller and they had like little bases at their feet, but that would be neat. Like, this is just kind of a really weird, like awkward line that I'm honestly surprised continued. But if they were fixed pose little statues, it would actually be pretty neat to differentiate themselves. But yeah, definitely an easy pass, honestly, and the price isn't that different. I think it's within like $1, maybe $2, I don't remember exactly, but of the 5-inch figures. But definitely go for the 5-inch figures instead. These are a very easy pass. I think they need, if they're going to continue this line, they need to tweak it a little bit to make it something different enough and cool enough to warrant taking a look at, because right now they just don't. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersrambles.com. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.